Ladies and gentlemen, okay. Here we go. Hang on to your wigs and keys, ladies and gentlemen. Our first guests are multiple Academy Award winners and two of the finest actors in cinema history, and they star in a new film entitled Little Fockers. Little Fockers, which opens December 22nd. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the new Siegfried and Roy, Robert De Niro and Dustin Hoffman. Okay. Thank you. We're out of time. Good to see you. Glad to have you both here. Welcome to the show, gentlemen. Nice to see you.
See you.
Why is it you're here together?
We've both left our wives.
Well, I sure would like to help you both out, but Dustin Hoffman, of course, you've been here several times. We've gotten to know you over the years. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
It's the first time Mr. De Niro has been here. Thank you very much for being here. You know, we've been on the air for 30 years. Right now we're on CBS. We used to be on NBC. I live in your neighborhood, literally your neighborhood. We're neighbors, and this is your first time. And what have I done?
Oh, God, I don't know. I just, well, whatever. Dustin, he'll explain to you.
Oh, Dustin will explain.
That's right.
All right, Dustin, what's the story?
If you ask me the questions that you have designated for Bob, I can maybe answer.
You know, this is not a legal proceeding.
I am the De Niro whisperer.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I've seen you on other talk shows.
I have been, yeah, no, I have been on that. And I always send little cards back to little jokes back.
Yeah, and I read them to the audience.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, yeah. And they say, well, that's great. How come he ain't here? You guys are close in age. I believe Mr. Hoffman is a little older than you. Is that about right?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit older.
Yeah. Did you start in the same class in terms of actors, young actors working in New York?
I can say one thing, which I've done about 4 films with Bob, and it was only the last film. I guess it was Little Fockers.
right.
Yes, I said pronounced it right. And suddenly we're in between takes, and Bob says to me, out of nowhere, which is his wont, he said, "You remember 1969 when you did Midnight Cowboy?" And I said, I wasn't begging. And I said, yes, I remember doing that film. He says, do you remember the party afterwards? And I said, kind of, not really. He says it was on 2nd Avenue on like 34th Street or something. I said, really? How do you know? He said, I was your waiter.
Wow.
No, and actually what it was a thing for McCarthy.
Oh.
At that time.
I got it wrong?
And it was the night that Bobby Kennedy was assassinated.
Wow. Wow. Well, he brought a good story down.
Well, Bob, I know you got a car waiting. Oh, man. Well, I mean, sadly enough, but, you know, that's, sadly it is our lives. And you talk about Robert Duvall and Gene Hackman. Were you in that group as well? No, not you, him. I'm talking to him. Yeah, he was not in that group.
He was almost a generation younger. He will never stop.
Yeah. And the first film that you guys worked together on was, what was it, Wag the Dog? Wag the Tail?
No, it was Sleepers.
Sleepers, yeah. Sleepers. Who else was in the film?
Brad Pitt.
Brad was in it?
Was he in it?
Yeah.
Yes?
He was in it.
How long have you guys been married? Oh, man. Oh, gosh. In terms of the work you do, acting, similar styles of preparation, different styles of preparation?
Bob?
I think, you know, everybody has their own way of working, and Dustin and I probably have ways that are very similar and ways that aren't, you know, and depends on, you know, what the part is.
Okay, Bob, 5 points. Over to you, Dustin. Let me ask you a question. Almost to a man, every actor that we have on cites Marlon Brando as a big influence. The same for both of you guys?
Yeah. You know, Brando was great. Brando, to me, was James Dean, Montgomery Clift, Geraldine Page, Kim Stanley.
What about James Dean? When I see a movie, he was in the movie adaptation of East of Eden. I couldn't hardly wait for James Dean to come into a scene, because he would come in and just go to work on the scene, and you were surprised that the set was still standing when he was done. I mean, he was acting upside down. What about that was groundbreaking? What about that was instrumental in forming the way actors behaved after that?
Bob?
I can't answer that. I'm going to let you answer that. Who's it on?
I mean, when you see it now, at the time, I'm sure it was groundbreaking. When you see it now, it doesn't seem to have withstood the test of time. James Dean in that particular film.
He does not withstand the test?
James Dean, to my eye, is not timeless in his role in East of Eden.
Are you going to feel the same way about us in 20 years?
Well, not both of you. Oh, God. Oh, man. Hey, we're having some fun now, aren't we?
This is an appropriate time for me to say that's why this man's been doing this for 28 years.
Yeah, I do. We'll be right back with Robert De Niro and Dustin Hoffman, ladies and gentlemen.